Hi everyone. Excuse my voice, it's a bit rough, but I swear it's not because of the partying, it's just because I'm a bit ill. So I'm here from the OK Lab here in Karlsruhe, and we are part of a network of OK Labs that are all over Germany, the OK stands for open knowledge. So our kind of shared topic is the opening of data and knowledge for the greater good. And we're also part of like an international network, the Code for All network, that also includes Code for South Africa, Code for America, and so on. And so our work kind of has two aspects. The first thing we do is we work with the government to encourage them and sometimes force them to open data and open their knowledge, which is, I don't know, harder than it sounds. It's a lot of work because governments traditionally are not organized to share. They are organized to hoard data and to keep it a secret in a way. And the other thing we do is to encourage communities. So we do things like hackathons, things like workshops, always with the idea to be as diverse and as interdisciplinary as possible. So we try to include people who are not just programmers, but also people who maybe don't traditionally work with data in their fields, people who are interested in the topics we like to address. So for example, that's what the picture with the smiley happy faces is from, was a hackathon where we worked together with refugee help organizations, and we try to see how digital tools can maybe help them do their very important work better and more efficiently, and organize their communities. So we like to include like as many people as we can and as diverse backgrounds as we can. And what we also do is, this is from here, from the Open Codes, organize discussions, organize workshops here to kind of spread the word about why it's important to share knowledge and why it's important to be open in what we do. And then we also build kind of tools and hacks. This one is one where you can check where the nearest farmer's market is, because that's sometimes hard to find out. And we thought it's good. This one is a visualization of election results. So that's kind of a good way to bring more technical people into working with data, and also to provide tools that can help people find answers to the questions they might have. Yeah, so that's what we do. And one kind of very special project that we did is the air quality sensor network, the distributed air quality sensor network, that Martin is going to talk about for a bit.
Okay, as you see, the web page is luftdaten.info, which is something like airdata.info in English. And what we started in Stuttgart basically is a network of sensors and of people who run these sensors. And we are measuring particulate matter, so small particles in the air, basically. This is the main sensor that we use. We can add others. And the reason for this is basically has a political background, because the EU has limits on the amount of particulate matter that is allowed in the cities. Otherwise, actions have to be taken. And that is now for more than 10 years, we are obliged to obey these thresholds. So we see here a threshold of 50 micrograms per square meter over the day. In the mean, that should not be passed in values. So if you have more days in the year than 36 days in the year, passing over this threshold, then there will be a problem with the EU. So there are regulations. So Stuttgart has a station that usually was with high values. So the highest values in Germany, so it was always mentioned in the media. And they also were the first to introduce alarms. So people should go with a public transport in certain days. So if there's a forecast, and then if the day is going to pass the limit, then you should go with a public transport and so on. So we thought about what can we do as citizens, and invented the citizen science project where everybody can create a sensor from low-cost components. So it's about $30 roughly to buy these components. We developed the firmware and the API to gather the data. And here you see the sensors. We have over 6,000 sensors, 6,400 it was yesterday, online. So it's a growing project, rapidly growing in numbers. So it's all open data, and you can participate by just buying these parts and assembling them. Basically, you put the firmware on this chip on the left, you use a ESP, which is a little Wi-Fi chip, so you need Wi-Fi and 5 volts with USB to run this. In the middle you see the sensor that's measuring the particulate matter, and additionally we measure temperature and humidity. You can add other sensors. We are working on noise and NOx sensors because this is other things that matter also in terms of regulations. Yeah, so if you have such a sensor, you can configure it and read out the values directly from the sensor, so it provides you with a web page to see directly your values, or you can look on the map then. Okay, so we meet, that's German.
I wanted to skip that slide, but apparently it wasn't there. But thank you everyone for listening and for being here.